Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Peach Belt volleyball game between your Armstrong State Pirates and Columbus State Cougars. Live here from the Aquatic and Recreation Center. I'm Eric Faulkner, here with Angela Johnson. Angela, a former Georgia Southern standout in volleyball. Angela, welcome tonight.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
The Pirates are coming into this game with a record of 8-1. They're 3-0 in the Peach Belt Conference, opening up a successful home slate this past Wednesday night with a 3-0 win over Peach Belt Conference foe Francis Marion. The Columbus State Cougars are currently 3-6 overall in the season and 0-1 in the Peach Belt. They dropped a 3-1 decision to Georgia Regents University in Augusta this past Wednesday. So it should be an interesting match. Last year, the two teams played twice. The Pirates sweeping both meetings from Columbus State, winning 3-1 in Columbus and 3-0 in Savannah. At this time, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break and meet the players for tonight for the Armstrong Pirates.
Caitlin King, Scrubs. Morgan Hill, American Horror Story. It's really creepy. I like scary stuff.
Isabel Fabacher, Hannah Montana.
Anna McGee, Criminal Minds.
Rachel Thompson, Whose Line Is It Anyway? My favorite skit is Helping Hands.
So how do you think this season's gonna go?
Oh, I think it's gonna go well.
So do you have a crush at Armstrong?
Well, of course, but it's a secret.
The British version is better.
Okay.
Iva Stepanovic, Laura Nordro, Special Victims Unit. I'm going to be a professional volleyball player.
I'm Emily Wiley, and right now, my favorite show would be Castle.
Madison Sox, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
In West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground is where I spent most of my days. When a couple of guys, they were up to no good. Started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got one little fight, my mom got scared. Said, you move with your auntie, I'm from Bel-Air.
Brittany Harris, Grey's Anatomy. McSteamy is so hot. I agree, girl. He is so hot.
Stephanie Safara, Prison Break. I mean, if I ever got into trouble, I could learn how to break out of prison.
Taylor Preventer, The Big Bang Theory. A nerdy comedy. It's fun to watch.
Christy Vaughn, The Bachelor.
Katie Broderick, Orange is the New Black. This girl named Crazy Eyes, she has crazy eyes. I guess they kind of are like this, and then...
Kim Brody, Law & Order SVU. It is suspenseful, and I have a huge crush on Stabler. He's so much hotter than that Grey's Anatomy guy.
Don't hate.
Carly Eichen, Full House. I love the togetherness and love of family.
Kayla Burns, Scandal. And right now, I would like to give a sincere apology to Rachel Thompson for telling her to please, kindly, shut up during the show. It's never worth a friendship. I'm sorry.
Paige Goki, The Walking Dead.
Cameron Sherman, SpongeBob.
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
SpongeBob SquarePants!
Absorbent and yellow and porous is he?
SpongeBob SquarePants!
If nautical nonsense be something you wish,
SpongeBob SquarePants!
then flop on the deck and flop like a fish.
SpongeBob SquarePants! SpongeBob SquarePants!
SquarePants!
Welcome back, Pirate fans, to the Arc for tonight's Peach Belt matchup between your Armstrong State Pirates and the visiting Columbus State Cougars. I'm Eric Faulkner here with Angela Johnson. And Angela, I'm going to be leaning on you heavily tonight because I'm the soccer coach filling in for Chad Jackson, so my volleyball knowledge is a little limited, but we'll get through this together. But obviously, early here in the Peach Belt Conference season, as a former volleyball player at the start of a game, what are you looking to do to get a quick start?
Really, if we are receiving, we try to get a really good pass, and mostly we try to get what we call a 3-pass, and so that allows us to have every hitter as an option and try to get a kill. So that's what we usually look for.
Great stuff, very well. Our starting lineups for Columbus State, Katie Poole, Ivana Kazik, Megan Frym, Eric Cinti, Kylie Bobine, Caitlin Merritt, and Andrea Skipper. For Armstrong State Pirates, 6'3" sophomore middle hitter Rachel Thompson, Cameron Sherman, 5'10" senior setter, Taylor Permenter, 6' senior middle hitter, Stephanie Savara, 5'9" senior outside hitter, Anna McGee, a 6'4" sophomore middle hitter, Morgan Hill, 5'7" senior libero, and Kayla Burns, a 5'4" sophomore defensive specialist. So Pirates and the Cougars about to get started here from the Arc. Armstrong has, like I said, off to a great start in the season, 8-1. Their only loss was a split at nationally ranked Wingate about 2 weeks ago. So Columbus to start with the serve. Set by Pirates, and we have our first kill. I believe number 8, Stephanie Safara. Correction, first mistake, and Emily Wiley. So Pirates will serve. Set by the Cougars. Back over, and there's going to be a point for the Pirates. So good start for Armstrong so far. 2-0 here early. Served by Armstrong, set by the Cougars, and that ball's going to fall in for a point, so side out. And Columbus State will serve. Katie Poole will come back to serve. We're at 2-1 here in the first set. Poole serve. Played by Armstrong and set out, and that one is going to be out. The point goes to the Cougars, 2-2. Just missed there right on the line. Poole serve. Set by Armstrong, a little touch over the net, played back across. Pirates will set up again. There's a block by the Cougars. Able to keep it alive as Columbus State, and Columbus State points as the ball falls into the net. So a little bit of a good start for Columbus State here.
Yeah, she really used that block very well, making sure she got that point.
Poole serve. Set by Armstrong. And that one falls in for a point for the Pirates. So just a little, what would you call that there? As a
Mental error right
little
there.
mental mistake. Yeah, kind of dropped down between two Columbus State players. So Safara to serve. We're knotted here at 3. And Safara's serve is long, so service error. So 4-3 Columbus. Bobine will serve, the 5'11" sophomore from Birmingham, Alabama. And that's going to go into the net, so point goes to the Pirates on the service error. That one was quite low.
Pirates really use this ball right here. You never want to miss a serve or get an error off of the other team's service error.
Morgan Hill will serve. That one played by Columbus, the set in the block. And that one with a kill for the Cougars. Tough one to handle there by the Pirates. So we're at 5-4 Columbus here in the first set. Sabrina Rogers, a freshman from Iowa City. Iowa will serve for Columbus. Kept alive by Columbus. The set, and that one will fall in for a point. So big spacing there, Angeli, there by Armstrong, and they were able to find the space on the court. So 6-4, Columbus State leading by 2 here early in the first set of this Peach Belt match between the Cougars of Columbus and your Armstrong State Pirates.
Pirates get a really good side out right here. Nice 3-pass and try to get it to the middle.
There's the serve, and that's going to help right there. So service error. Columbus has had a few of those here early. So see if the Pirates can take advantage. 6-5, trailing by 1. As Kayla Burns will serve for Armstrong, the 5'4" sophomore from Augusta, Georgia. Burns serve, played by the Cougars, played back over the net, and that's going to go out of bounds. And it'll be point for Columbus. So not the best start so far for Armstrong, or the quick start that you're maybe looking for.
Yeah, definitely. You want to keep the pace on your side and try to just keep that lead.
Served by Columbus State. It'll be the set, and rules violation called on Armstrong, so 8-5. Is our score. Columbus leading by 3. Serve from Columbus, and that's into the net. That's the third one tonight. Service error. So 8-6. Kim Brody will serve. Brody's serve is played by Columbus State. There's the set, and it's going to be dug out by the Pirates, and they're going to win the point. Is Columbus unable to get to that one. The Arc is a tough place to play for visiting opponents. It's a great environment here for volleyball. And tonight, no difference. Good turnout on hand. Brody's serve here at 8-7. Kept alive by the Cougars, and will be set for the Pirates, and that one's long, so Megan Charnet's attempt to win a point goes deep.
That was a good idea by her to roll it down the line, but it's just out.
9-7 Columbus. A great block there by Armstrong to win the point, 9-8. So Taylor Permenter comes back in for the Pirates, and Megan Frame will come in for Columbus State. 9-8 the visitors. And a good serve there, so the Pirates get a point to knot this at 9 on the serve by Permenter. Permenter's serve. Played over by Columbus. They'll try to set again. Attempt to block, missed by the Pirates. They'll set here, and they'll go for the kill there, but not kept alive by the Columbus State Cougars. Long rally here for a point. Both teams keeping the ball alive, and we're going to have a point for the Cougars. So one of our longer rallies of the game so far.
It was a really nice rally. Both teams have pretty good shots.
10-9 Columbus. Kazik to serve. Set by the Pirates. A little tip over the net by the Lady Pirates to try to keep it alive. They were able to do so. That ball dug out by Armstrong. Tip back over to net. Columbus State will try to set here. And a little tip. And a block by Armstrong. I believe that was Rachel Thompson, I believe. Quick glimpse of the roster, Angeli. Pirates, a lot of players over 6 foot. Very tall roster. Good kill there by the Cougars to go up 11-10. Served by Poole, and that's into the net. So a lot of service errors for Columbus State, or they could maybe possibly be ahead by a little bit larger margin. So Safara will serve for the Pirates. We are knotted here at 11 as some attendance to the court to get a little wet spot there. Served by Safara. There's a set by the Columbus State, and there's a kill by number 11. Gelsentine, but she got a hold of that one pretty well. Sophomore from Lithuania. 6'2" sophomore, served by the Cougars. There was the set by the Pirates. Was able to be kept alive by Columbus State. A little tip over the net, and we're going to have a rules violation there. Point goes to the Pirates, so side out, 12-12. Morgan Hill will serve, the 5'7" senior libero from West Palm Beach. Blocked by Armstrong. Good block there by Permenter. A nice kill there by the Cougars deep in the court, just below the line, so 13-12. So Sabrina Rogers, the freshman back in from Iowa City, she'll serve for Columbus State, leading 13-12 here in the first set. Pirates set up. There's a nice kill by Emily Wiley, the 6'4" sophomore. Wiley getting up there and hammering that one home, so we're 13. So back and forth we go, Angela. Both teams trading points. Caleb Burns will serve for Armstrong, the 5'4" sophomore. 13-13, first set. Burns' his serve is set by Columbus State, kept alive by the Pirates. Good dig there, another dig. There's a set, and that one will be a kill. Point for the Pirates, Anna McGee. 6'4" sophomore from Graham, Texas. So last 2 points, a couple of 6'4" sophomores getting involved for Armstrong. Served by Armstrong, up 14-13. Kept alive by Kayla Burns, but goes out of bounds, so we'll side out here. Cougars will have the serve tied at 14. So neither team able to really separate here in the first set. Gozenti with the serve, and that one's got to be a point for the Pirates as the Cougars were unable to keep that alive. So 15-14, 1 point lead for Columbus is Kim Brody, 6' sophomore from Mills Creek High School. Will serve. What you expect in a conference match, tight here early between these two teams. Brody's serve is set by the Cougars, and they got a kill. Neither team really to hold serve very long. It seems like it's kind of going back and forth. the set. Nice dig by Columbus State, and there's going to be a... I think the Pirates thought they had the point, but now the official has ruled it for Columbus State, so 16-15, kind of just dropped on the other side of the net. So serve will stay with Columbus State as Schnarnett will get a service ace, 17-15. Just kind of fell in between. It wasn't a lot of pace on the serve, but just found the right place.
It just hit the net at a really nice spot and was able to follow it.
So our score 17-15 in favor of the visitors from Columbus, Georgia. There's a set by the Pirates, a block by Columbus State. It'll be tipped over again by Safara. And that will lead to a point. So Safara was just able to just kind of just tip it over. Columbus State unable to deal with that, so we're at 17-16 now. So Permenter will serve, and that one's too deep. So lots of service errors here in his first set. 18-16 Columbus. Columbus puts it in play in the set, and that one will be in. That was, I believe, Rachel Thompson.
Being able to turn that ball to
18-17 now, so Armstrong will serve as Sherman will put it into play. And a point for Armstrong. Sherman, a senior transfer from Clemson, so always nice to have an ACC player on your roster. So we're now tied at 18. Sherman's serve goes into the net. Come to quite a lot of volleyball games, and seems like tonight seems like a high number of service errors here in this first set by both teams. As a coach, that probably gets you a little bit upset. Cougars serve, set by the Pirates, and that one's going to be just out, right? Yeah. So the point goes to Cougars, 20-18. They extended to 2 here on the serve. And there's another point for the Cougars, 21-18, just enough to tip it over. And timeout will be called by Coach Will Condon. So some unfamiliar territory for Armstrong, trailing here, 21-18, but got some points still to go before the first set will be over. But so far, a lot of service errors, but like you said, some good play on both sides.
Yeah, exactly. I think Armstrong coming out of this timeout, they need to get a really nice pass, and after the hit, just try to make sure they see their hitters and get a really good block if they can.
Armstrong coming into this game ranked 22nd in the country, as we said earlier, 8-1 overall, 3-0 in the Peach Belt Conference. Their lone loss was to Wingate, who they beat as well on the same day. So they both nationally ranked teams playing two games in a day, and the Pirates splitting at Wingate. So that's been their only loss. And Armstrong, for the last several years, has been the power in the Peach Belt Conference. Columbus State in their second year, young program. This would be a pretty big upset and a pretty big win if they can get this tonight, but long ways to go. But right now, good start for the young Cougars. So Aaron Valentine, a 5'4" freshman from Sharpsburg, Georgia, will serve here, up by 3 for Columbus State. Ball in play will be set up by Armstrong, and that'll be a point. So Wiley was able to get the kill. Which we want to see as Coach Condon is get that quick point. Let's see if they can make something of it. 21-19, and then we have another service error. Mental mistakes, physical mistakes, most coaches will tolerate. Mental mistakes, not so much. Bobine will put it in play. 22-19. And we're going to have a point there, so we have a double hit, I believe. Yeah, double hit violation, 23-19. So the door is open for Columbus here in the first set with the serve. Bobine's serve is not what they needed right there. And now Pirates have a little bit of a break, 23-20, trailing by 3. Morgan Hill to serve. Hill's service, played by Columbus. Here'll be the set. Pirates keep it alive. Wiley, and she's been quite good from that spot. The outside hitter there getting set up for the kill, and Wiley's hit that 2 times in a row. She's been set up that way. So 23-21. And Columbus State with a timeout. So Columbus, the service error kind of hurt them a little bit because they had a chance to maybe extend the lead to 24, and now it's a 2-point game, could go either way. How important it is, I know volleyball, it's a 5-set game, and I know coaches will say you can lose big in the first set and you got another chance, but how important is to kind of get off to a good start in that first set?
Very important. That first set really kind of defines how the match is going to go and your confidence going through the next few sets. And so getting this first set under your belt is really, really important and really good confidence booster to everybody.
Especially for Columbus State coming here on the road, hostile environment, a team that's 3-6, if they get that first set, maybe a little bit of confidence. And for Armstrong, obviously, haven't really trailed much this year, so this is kind of a big first set for both teams. So our score here from the arc here in the first set, Pirates trailing 23-21 against visiting Columbus. Morgan Hill will serve. Hill's service is played by Columbus. There's a set for Columbus State, and a little bit far out, so point for the Pirates, 23-22, just missing. So Hill will serve again, so the Pirates have clawed back to 1 point. This is where experience sometimes comes into play, and Armstrong has a lot of it. Good block attempted block by the Pirates, goes out of bounds, so 24-22, so set point here for Columbus. Sabrina Rogers will see if she can win this on serve here. Rogers plays it in. It's kept alive by Armstrong, blocked by the Cougars. Played again over. Be set up for the Pirates. Good dig by the Cougars to keep it alive. It was close, wasn't it? And that one's going to be long, and I think that's what Coach Condon is asking the question. There was potential double hit there that happened right there, but no call, and the Cougars win the first set, 25-22. So not the start that the Pirates have been used to, but if you're Coach Casey Cornett for the Columbus State to come on the road, get the first set, could build some confidence. It'll be interesting to see how Armstrong responds. Well, we'll take a quick break with the changeover here. The first set goes to Columbus State, 1-0. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back, Pirate fans. Eric Faulkner and Evangeline Johnson bringing you tonight's Peach Belt action between Columbus State and Armstrong State. In Columbus with the first set, Angeli, and quick look at the stats. Looking at Columbus State's attack percentage at 294. Big difference between Pirates 182. That may be the difference so far in that first set. Pirates with a quick point, they go up 1-0, but Armstrong in a little bit unfamiliar territory so far in the Peach Belt, trailing, but long way to go. And a good start to that set. Sherman's serve just hits the top of the net and falls down. You said earlier, those are sometimes unkind, but they count. So 2-0 for the Pirates, and so far seems to have regrouped here early, played back over by Armstrong. It'll be tipped over by Columbus, and it'll be set up by the Pirates, and there'll be long attempt there, a little bit long by Safara. So 2-1, so side out. So some substitutions for the Cougars. Aaron Valentine will come to serve, trailing by 1, up 1-0. Valentine's serve is this wide. So 3-1 for the Cougars. Safara will serve. Sorry, 3-1 for the Pirates. Safara's serve is into the net. Sometimes nights go like this, a lot of unforced errors for both teams, but more so for Armstrong, and don't want to give away free points. 3-2 Armstrong. Serve for Columbus. That one's going to fall in, kind of like a miscommunication it looked like there.
That was a little bit more of a just not kind of playing your zone, really.
Yeah.
She should have tried to fall all the way back to the line, and then she was
Looked like Morgan Hill and Safara kind of looking at each other, deciding who's going to get it. Net violation on Columbus State, so 4-3. So Hill will serve, up by a point, trailing by 1 set are the Pirates. Hill serve, set by Columbus, and that's again a nice kill there by Columbus State. I believe it was 11. Gelsentheim. So Columbus will serve. Rogers. Played by Morgan Hill. That one put over the net by Emily Wiley. Columbus will play it back over. Wiley will play it back in for the Pirates, and back and forth we go. That one's going to be almost in the stand, so actually got a, I guess it went off the, they're saying it deflected, or was there? I think it must have been tipped. I don't think Coach Condon agreed with that or the crowd, but the only person that matters is the official. So 5-4. The guests leading. And we're going to have another violation, double hit, which in the last set may have been a critical point there. Double hit that we thought was missed, but here, this one picked up by the officials. So 6-4, we move on.
hopefully the Pirates can rally back from these two unforced errors. And another service error.
That one floating too long, so the Pirates will get the point, and they will serve on the service error. Kayla Burns will serve, trailing 6-5. Burns' serve. Cougars will set, tipped over the net. That's trouble right there. You know, it was a good spot for a game, you know, where you see so many hard kills and things like that. Sometimes just tipping the ball in the right spot will be enough, and that's what happened.
What a lot of coaches try to tell you, tipping right over the block usually always works.
Two players going for the same ball for Armstrong, almost collided. Cougars will try to keep this alive, and they'll have to play it over the net. Pirates play it back, and there's a little tip by both teams tipping the ball over the net. Yeah, I thought so, possibly. And the Pirates get the point on the attempted block by the Cougars. Unsuccessful. Brody's serve for Armstrong. Trailing by a point, 7-6. Tipped over by Columbus, kept alive by the Pirates. There's the set and a kill. By Safara.
A lot of outside hitters you'll see usually hit cross, so hitting down the line is usually mostly effective.
Last game out, Safara had 11 kills. Another tip across the net by Columbus, played back by Pirates. The set for the Cougars, and they tip it right into the net. Somewhat undecisive there. I think she kind of got up, wasn't sure, and unable to really get anything on it. So 7-7 is our score. That one just tips off the net. Brody's serve. And we're going to have the net violation, net violation on Armstrong. So kind of like the first set, we're knotted again at 8, and that one went back and forth before the Columbus State was able to separate towards the end of the set. So you got to think right now, the Cougars got to be pretty confident going head-to-head with the number 22 team in the country.
I'm very, very happy with their effort today. Both teams really look like they're really into this game, really getting after these balls. The only thing that both teams may want to focus on is those serves, like we said before. Those mental errors need to be limited.
Yeah, giving away free points, and that's comes back to haunt you in a lot of games, those unforced errors. So the Columbus State will serve. Here we are tied at 8 here, second set. The set by the Pirates, and Safara with the kill. Nice set there for Safara, and she put it right where she needed to. So Permenter will now serve for Armstrong, now up 9-8. So Pirates hoping to get some points here on serve. And Permenter's serve is kept alive by Columbus, and we have a block that's going to fall out. And point goes to the Cougars. So neither team able to get some momentum on their serve. It's kind of been back and forth.
On that last ball, if Safara could have just turned that ball in with her outside hand, it would have been a block right there.
So Ivana Kazik will serve for Columbus. Tied here at 9. Kept alive by Morgan Hill. Played back by Armstrong. Columbus State will set for attempt for a point, and we have a double block right there. Good job. And it's Safara and Thompson going up together. And hard to get it over those two. Sherman to serve, 10-9 Pirates. Columbus State is ball tipped off the hand of Emily Wiley, so the point goes back to the Cougars. Well, Valentine will serve. Both teams not serving very long when they do have it. 10-10. Hill keeps it alive. Over to Safara. Safara's shot is attempted to be blocked. It's gone out of bounds, so the point will go to the Pirates, and that'll be side out again. So serve going back to Armstrong. Seems like we got a little trend here.
That's a really nice play by Safara. I guess she saw that she didn't really have anywhere to go in the court, so she just hit it right off the blocker's hands.
Safara serve deep, handled by Columbus State. They'll try to attempt to get it over. Good block there by Wiley. Wiley now with the hit, attack. Attack by the Cougars. That one's going to go out of bounds, so point goes to the Cougars, so they even it up here at 11. Bobine will serve for Columbus. Just barely makes it over to the net. Will be set up for Wiley. Wiley will play it deep and get a point. So a kill for Wiley. Wiley been pretty good on the attack on this game. 12-11. That one hits off the net and falls in for Morgan Hill, so that'll extend the lead for Armstrong, 13-11. In case you just joined us, Columbus State won the first set 25-22. The Pirates here leading the second 13-11. Eric Faulkner and Angeli Johnson here, bringing you tonight's action from the Arc, Peach Belt action. And the attack by Columbus is good for a point as it ricocheted off a Morgan Hill, unable to keep it alive, so 13-12, and we'll go back to serve for Columbus. Sabrina Rogers will do the honors. Rogers' serve is played out by Hill, set for Wiley, and the block by Columbus State.
That ball was just a little too tight for her. Made it too easy for Columbus State to get that block.
13-13, so this one has been even all the way through. Columbus with the upper hand in the first set. Not going away yet. And that one, when it was set up, you saw it happen. Anna McGee there hammering that one home. 14-13. Pirates will serve. And that one played across the net by Permenter. So Kayla Burns serves with a 2-point lead, 15-13 here in the second. Burns' serve is going to go wide. So service error seems to be the theme tonight. Sometimes it just goes that way, doesn't it?
Yeah. Sometimes you just can't help it.
15-14. That ball tips off the net. That's going to be set over for Anna McGee, and McGee has been money from there the last two times she's been set. So Kim Brody will serve. Pirates up by 2, 16-14, trying to extend it. Two's been about the biggest lead in this set. Cougars will try to set. That one's going to be blocked by a pair of Pirates. There was Sherman and Permenter coming over on the block, so good defensive play there by Armstrong.
Definitely. Blocks are what really kind of pump you up in the front row on defensive plays.
And a timely block because that one now extends it to a 3-point game, 17-14. So we went back and forth for a while. Score being tight, the Pirates were able to open up the third by a 3-point game. Looking at the stats from the first end, is really anything that stood out to you? Anything that you saw that was a difference in that first set?
Really, I just see the hitting percentage is a little bit higher on Columbus State's side, but it's still early, so Armstrong still has a chance to kind of pull away a little bit.
So both teams coming back onto the court. The Pirates leading the second set 17-14.
We'll see how Columbus State tries to execute out of this timeout, see if they can get a side out right here.
Brody serve. will be set by Columbus. There's a block by the Pirates. It's kept alive on Columbus side of the net. Good job of keeping that one alive and then put it right into the net. So a little extension here of the lead, 4 points, 18-14. If you're Armstrong, you want to carry this momentum through the second set. So Brody to serve again. And that one's got to be killed by Sherman. Kind of miscommunication looked by Columbus, kind of tipped it over, and Sherman just sat there and said, thank you very much.
Maybe a miscommunication and just a little bit of bad timing on the setter and the hitter.
That one, Safara. Back to Safara. Safara will place that right down the line. Very nice placement. And the Pirates have extended now to 6. And Safara
has some really good decisions.
Has made some good decisions, and I think she's kind of been the difference so far in this set between the two teams. And she's been quite good for the Pirates. So Columbus State will take a quick timeout. We'll take it with them. Our score here in the second set, 20-14, with the Cougars leading 1-0. Welcome back, Pirate fans. Angela Lee Johnson here and Eric Faulkner. Here in the second set, back in action. Blocked by the Pirates. And the attack by Columbus State thwarted there by the Pirates, and they get another point, 21-14.
You can really see the shift of energy in this set.
Pirates are really a little flat to come out, but really lifted it up, which is what you want to see a team do. And they're going to get another point right there. So a miss hit by the Cougars, 22-14. Brody's been serving for a while now, so that's the first extended serve we've seen tonight. And a block and out of bounds. Not much Safara could do there.
Seemed like it just hit her arms on that one.
So the Cougars get the serve, trailing 22-15, and see if they can make something happen here on serve. But not going to happen right there as Sherman, just again, another tip over the net. Good placement, and the Pirates are 2 points away from taking the second set. Katie Broderick will serve. Broderick, a local product from St. Vincent's High School right here in Savannah. Is set by the Cougars, tipped over by Columbus, and now knocked home by Sherman. 24-15 with the kill. You can sense a little momentum swing here after they really tight for a while. We were about, 13-13, and it has opened up. Broderick serve is out, so 24-16, so not over yet here in the second. And Safara says, in that set, and she did what she's been doing all during this entire set, is with the kill. So good set for the Pirates there, coming back after trailing the first one.
That is really good. Tied at 1-1. We'll see how the Cougars respond in this next set. You can see that their confidence kind of went down energy kind of went down as well. So we'll see how they kind of rally back this next set.
It's kind of the great thing about volleyball. You can lose a set, but then you got a lot of chances to make it up. I thought Armstrong really rallied in that one to kind of maybe reestablish themselves in this match so far. But we'll take the extended break here after the second set, and we'll bring you the third set in about 8 minutes. We'll see you then. Welcome back, Pirate fans. Eric Faulkner and Angela Johnson from the ARC here on the campus of Armstrong State University. We are knotted at one set apiece between the visiting Columbus State Cougars and Armstrong. And Angela, pretty good match so far. Columbus taking the first set and Armstrong coming back pretty strong in the second. What's your thoughts so far?
So far, I think both teams have shown pretty good effort out there. Pretty much, the first set was pretty dominated by Columbus State. Even though it was a close game, they had a little bit higher hitting percentage. But the second set was mostly dominated by Armstrong, hitting 339 and doing pretty well. And Columbus State hitting 246, so that may have been
it's a big improvement from the first set where Armstrong was hitting 182, so they obviously turned that around.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're getting ready here to start the third set. One thing we know, we're at least going 4. If you're a So Safara, Sherman, Morgan Hill, Broderick, and Brody on the court for the Pirates, and also Rachel Thompson. So Kazik will serve for Columbus State. So here we go here in the third. Kazak's serve is played by Hill, be set up by the Pirates, and so far as attack was kept alive by the Cougars. Pirates will try again. That one also kept alive by Columbus State. There'll be the set on left side, and it'll fall for a point for the Pirates. So good start for Armstrong. Emily Wiley will come into the match. Wiley's had a pretty strong game so far. Pirate serve, set by the Cougars. Played back over by Columbus. That one will be set up. But kept alive by Columbus again. That one partially blocked. A good job dig there by Morgan Hill. And the Pirates will get a point. That one is falling deep. So 2-0 start for Armstrong. Good hustle by Morgan Hill to keep that one ball alive. Sherman will serve. Sherman's serve is inbounds, but the Pirates will get another point as the Cougars unable to keep it in play. Sherman with 3-0 lead here in the third. Her serve, good job by Columbus State to keep that one from hitting the court. And now just kind of knocked over by, I believe that's Safara. I think it was.
Columbus State struggling a little bit on these serves, right?
Another good serve by Armstrong. That'll be played back over. It'll be set up by Columbus for Safara, and Safara will get a point there. So Armstrong off to a really strong start here in the third, up 5-0. And Stephanie Safara has had a lot to do with that so far, but also some good service by Sherman. Sherman's serve is up and over. Columbus will play that one, get their first point. So stop the bleeding a little bit, at least temporarily, as the Cougars. Valentine will enter the game to serve. 5-1 Armstrong here in the third. We're knotted at 101 in sets. Morgan Hill keeps it, and that one is played into the net. So appeared there that the set was maybe a little bit low for Rachel Thompson.
Yeah, just a little. And she could have just tried to maybe even tip it over.
Tip it over instead of trying to go for the kill. Hill to Safara. Safara's attempt at attack was thwarted there by the Cougars. That one's still alive. Played back over by Armstrong. Columbus did a good job of keeping it alive. They'll play it into the net, though, and the Pirates will get a point. So some good work by the Cougars, but then unable to get it back over was Skipper. number
seeing a
24.
few tight sets on the Cougar side, just not being able to get it over on the first try.
So Safar will serve, leading 6-2. That one just tipped over and lands in, so sometimes that's all you need.
Tipping it to the open spot.
Seems like a simple game, right? That's where the ball has to go. So 6-3. Let's see if Columbus State can get anything here on the serve. Bovine puts it into play. The set by Armstrong. That one's going to go wide. Wait, no, changing it over. So we have a rules violation there on the net. So Pirates get their point. Columbus State coaching staff asking a few questions. It's kind of a slow call, it seemed. Maybe no one caught it right away, but Cougars thought they had the point, but the Pirates do. 7-3. Set by Columbus. That one's going to be played and off the hands of Anna McGee. Will go out of play, and the points go to the Cougars, so side out.
A little bit more energy coming out of the Columbus State Cougars right now.
Yeah, after the slow start going down 5-0, they've clawed it back here within 3, 7-4, maybe a couple service points. Let's see what happens. Rogers will play it. Passed by Armstrong. That one tracked down by Columbus, blocked by Wiley.
Need some better touches on those balls for Columbus State. Try to keep your setter from not running all over the court.
That attempt was a little long, so the points side out will go to the Pirates. 8-4 now. Broderick will serve. Broderick serve, played by Columbus. There's the pass, and there's a block. Good block there by Permenter. 9-4, Armstrong. Broderick will serve it across. Was able to kind of find the seam there was Columbus as McGee and Permenter went up, but she hit it right between them. Perhaps, do they got to get a little tighter together, perhaps, or is that?
The Pirates just need to kind of drop their hands a little bit, press more instead of going straight up over the net.
Kept alive and call a double hit called. Coach Condon.
She may have thought she touched it twice on that one.
Not sure, but ball hit the net, and it kind of was really quick action there, and it's hard to tell from our vantage point, but Sherman will try to get an explanation from the officials. Coach Condon looking over, asking the same question. So 9-5. Armstrong. Columbus will serve. Kept alive by the Pirates, and that one's going to be hit out of bounds. McGee had a tough play there. She tried to get over and slide over, but she was unable to keep it in play. So a little momentum shift here in the third as it looked like the Cougars were in trouble. Armstrong with a great start, but the last few points here go in the Cougars' way, 9-7. Morgan Hill will play it for Armstrong. Tipped over the net by Pirates, and that one falls in between, so you can kind of sense a momentum swing. This match has been that way kind of from the beginning, back and forth.
Definitely. The energy has kind of shifted a little bit.
Good block by Columbus. Anna McGee, who's going from the attack, and a good block by Columbus to earn the point. The battle back. They were once trailing 5-0 here in the third. We're now at 9-9. What do you see, Angelina, being the big difference so far?
I see kind of Columbus State, their blocking definitely teams, like you said earlier. I think the Pirates just need to work on kind of communication on one of the balls. It kind of seemed like Safari was a little hesitant about getting one of the digs, but kind of just going after that ball and just knowing that you have it and all you got, like your teammates are behind you.
Volleyball, definitely a sport where you got to have some thick skin and put some arrows quickly behind you, because if you let it kind of linger, it's really going to affect your play, because it's just a fast-paced game. But right now, this match has been dead even. And probably not many people were expecting it to be this close at this point, but
That's what makes volleyball fun.
it is. So the Cougars will serve. That one played over by the Pirates, kept alive by Columbus State. They'll set it up for the attack. Nice play. A diving play, but it didn't really matter in the end, as Safara was hustling over right in front of her own bench, but point falls for Columbus. Out of the timeout, as we have some moisture issues on the floor we're attending to. Great crowd on hand here in the Arc, and usually is. It's a tough place to play, but it hasn't rattled the young Cougar program so far tonight. 10-9 our score, tied 1-1. Columbus serve. Hill. That one played in the net, and Sherman just knocks it into the net, so a point for Columbus State. That one tips the top of the net. Kept alive by Armstrong. That one played deep. Columbus will set up here for the attack. Played back across. Will be set back by Armstrong, and there's a block back to the Pirates side, and a nice play by Anna McGee. The McGee with the kill. 11-10 for the visitors. And service ace there for Armstrong as that ball goes out of bounds, so we're tied at 11.
That was a beautiful float serve by Brody, just right on the line.
Just tough to kind of get over there to get to that one, and like you said, right down that line, and Columbus unable to keep it in play. So Brody doing her job. We're tied at 11. Deep serve by Brody. Will be set by Columbus, and
Wanting a touch on that ball.
They thought it was tipped, but it didn't look like it was tipped from our angle. At least I didn't see it from our vantage point. It looked like it was long and wide. Sometimes I guess you can tell by the rotation of the ball if it hits someone's hand. 12-11 Armstrong. So Pirates have been able to kind of dig back into it, but a good play there by the Cougars to go 12-12. So
They scored on that spot twice. We'll see if the Pirates can kind of cover that spot a little bit better.
floor, I guess, holding some moisture. It seems like every point we've had some towels out here. And obviously, as a volleyball player, that's a tough thing because you got to have that footing.
It's not fun to slip in it, I know from experience.
Cougars will serve, knotted at 12. Good serve, played out by the Pirates. That'll be set up and hammered home with a lot of emotion there with Safara, who seems to be the emotional leader of this team tonight. And I think every team, Angela, has to have that type of player that kind of, like, when things aren't necessarily going well, can kind of pull you through. Safara could be that answer for the Armstrong.
He's been out tonight.
(13-12) Armstrong with the lead. Serve by the Pirates, tipped over by Columbus State. They'll try to set it up again as the Pirates were able to play it over. The attack there. And we'll go point to the Pirates, so 14-12. Pirates lead by 2. Broderick serve. And a double hit called on the Cougars. (15-12), 3-point lead. Broderick again floats it over. It'll be the set by Columbus, tipped across. Good play, good dig there by the Pirates to keep it alive. Was Broderick. And we got a block sliding over. Rachel Thompson did a good job of sliding her feet over to get in good position for the block. (16-12). Momentum swings back the other way. Cougars earned the point there, 16-13. Columbus serve up by trailing by 3 here in the third. Good block by the Cougars. Now tipped back across by Armstrong. It'll be kept back in play, but that's not going to make it. As Skipper kind of came over, tried to keep it in play, but was unable to get it back over the net. Sherman will serve for Armstrong, leading 17-13 here in the third. We're knotted up at 1. Sherman serve. Set by Columbus. Good set by Columbus State there to get a point.
That was a nice shot by that middle to hit it deep. A lot of times the best places to hit are deep if you're in middle. Only shots you really have.
So able to kind of find that space again. Did a good job there. 17-14 side out, so Columbus will serve. And they put it right in the net. So you make a good play, then you put it in the net, and that drives coaches crazy. Against a team like Armstrong, as good as Armstrong, you just really can't afford to give away those kind of free points.
That may have been, what, our first service error this
It may have been in this set, so they've improved on it. That one long, though, so we come back the other way. 18-15. The ebbs and flows of a volleyball game are definitely going on tonight. 18-15, Pirates lead. Here's a serve by Columbus. Safara will play it, set, and this kind of tipped over by Rachel Thompson.
That may have been a little low.
It was a little low, but Thompson handled it well. Morgan Hill will now serve. Hill serve is deep. It'll be played and out. And that one wide, so 19-15. So Hill will serve this across. Tipped across by the Cougars. This will be set by the Pirates. This is going to go over to Wiley. Wiley's attack dug out by the Cougars. And the set over to Permenter, kept alive by Columbus State. Try to tip across and not able to do it. A little indecisiveness there by Columbus State. 20-15. McGee and Permenter went up there to try to block that, and that one now has been played by Armstrong. McGee hits it back across. They'll be set by the Cougars.
Number 11 relieved on that one. She's been struggling a little bit today.
Yeah, so 2016 just caught the line, huh? So Rogers will serve. Columbus trailing by 4. We're tied at 1 set apiece here in the third. Morgan Hill will play it to Wiley. Wiley was nice block. Blocked again. Anna McGee.
Nice shot by McGee, staying disciplined on that block, just pressing over and finding the ball.
So Broderick will serve, up 21-16. The Pirates trying to push towards that 25 number and take this second set. And there's a attack that goes long by Columbus. (22-16). Broderick to serve. Pirates have been mostly in control of this set. Went up to a 5-0 lead and now have extended it to 6 points here at 22-16 as this ball will be played and out of bounds. So Columbus will call a timeout at 23-16. So Armstrong really answering the bell after losing that first game. Looking pretty strong here in the third, Angeli. What's your thoughts?
I think the Pirates are doing a really good job defensively, getting balls up, and definitely blocking has been a good factor for them. I think Columbus State just needs to try and get their confidence back. It seems like they're second-guessing themselves, especially on swings, hitting a lot of balls out of bounds and everything. So we'll see if they come back out and kind of respond and get a little bit more momentum. And maybe if they can't win this set, try to get some momentum into the next set.
Sure, absolutely not. Maybe not this current set, getting down 5-0 and kind of trailing the whole way. Was able to fight back for a little while, but then Armstrong lifted it up. I thought, kind of, if you look at, I thought Anna McGee's been a big player here in the third for Armstrong with a couple of nice plays.
Especially that last block that she had.
So we are at 23-16. Pirates leading here in the third set. Teams split the first two. The Cougars taking the first set. The Pirates taking the second. And 2 points away from taking the third. With Broderick, the local product from St. Vincent's, to serve. Columbus will attack this one. It's partially blocked by Armstrong. Morgan Hill will keep it alive. Played back over by McGee. That attack out of bounds by the Cougars, so we'll have set point here, 24-16. Broderick will serve. Broderick serve is going to fall, and that's going to go to the set for the Pirates. So the Pirates take set number 3, 2-1. And we'll switch sides. We'll take a brief break with them. Pirates leading 2-1 over Columbus State. Welcome back, Pirate fans. Eric Falker of Angeli Johnson here from the ARC on the campus of Armstrong State University in Savannah, Georgia, for tonight's Peach Belt Conference match. Armstrong State leading 2-1 after falling behind in the first set, Angeli, and a good response by the Pirates after falling behind that first set to take the next two.
Yeah, they showed some real effort today. They did really good in this past set. Just keeping their cool. They made the set got a little tight for a second, but they kept pretty good in the entire set.
Columbus State really cooling off. You look at it hitting 140 after a good first set, and obviously that kind of spells the difference right now.
Yeah, definitely. They had a lot of attacking errors that last set. So we'll see if they try to limit those errors this set and try to get a little bit more momentum.
Team blocks also were a factor in that last set. Armstrong with 7 now. Columbus State with 3. So we are 2-1 here in the fourth. Armstrong leading, and they'll serve and get the first point. So as Sherman, the transfer from Clemson, will serve. Columbus State will set that. That one hit back over the net. Good job by Morgan Hill to keep it alive. That one partially blocked by Columbus. They'll try to play it back over. Tipped over and gonna just fall. Oh, good play there by Rachel Thompson to keep it alive. So we got a good rally going, but finally into the net was Columbus State. So Thompson with a really good play to keep that ball alive. It looked like it was gonna fall.
It was a nice read by her, just going all out for that ball.
Pirates out to a 2-0 lead. Sherman's serve will be played back by Columbus State, and they'll pick up the point. So 2-1. Poole will serve for the Cougars. Looking at our attack number, Safara hit 348. So Safara will serve for the Pirates, leading 3-1 here in the fourth. And Safara hits a service error right into the middle of the net. So 3-2, and we'll side out. Service by Columbus State, hit by Hill. That will be played over to McGee. McGee kept it alive, and whistle on the play. And
I guess he called them out of rotation. I'm not sure who was, but
so rotation
we'll see real soon.
violation. Some discussion at the scorer's table. We'll see what happens. Andrea, looking at the stats from after the third set on both sides, what do you see from Armstrong? As far as some players that really stepped up so far tonight.
Had a really good set last set. She's been doing pretty well this whole game, making some good decisions. She hit 333, and I think it was set 2. So she's definitely a big factor in this game.
All right, we're back in play. 3-2 Pirates. That one going to go to the Pirates on the point, so it's 4-2 here in the fourth. And Armstrong will serve. Morgan Hill will do the honors.
out of rotation.
So a rotation violation now on Columbus. So we've had 2 of those so far in the last couple points. So it's 5-2 Armstrong. If you're going to beat the number 22 team in the country, those are kind of the mistakes you kind of like to avoid because you don't want to get in too big a hole here in the fourth.
Yeah. Especially really small mistakes like this, just having one foot in front of somebody else or being behind somebody.
There's a good dig by Armstrong. Kept alive by Columbus State. They're going to try to tip it over. That's kept alive by the Pirates. Morgan Hill will come over. She's going to play it to McGee. McGee just hits it back over. And that one's going to go off the hand of the Pirates. So attempted block there goes out of bounds. So the Pirates will give up a point. So 5-3 now. And side out. So Rogers will serve, trailing by 2 here in the fourth. Rogers puts it in play. Safara kept it alive, and then there's a quick point by Wiley. So good, nice job by Wiley to put that one home.
She's been having a really good game as well.
6-3. Broderick will serve. Played over and just nicely hit there. By Permenter, just kind of found the open spot and just played it right in. 7-3. Broderick will serve. Pirates open up a 4-point lead here in the fourth. It is set by the Pirates. That's going to be hit and out of bounds by Permenter. So we'll have a side out. And Columbus will serve, trailing by 3, 7-4. Serve put into play. Hill will play it up, tipped over to net by Sherman. He's set by Columbus and a block.
That was a nice well-formed block right there.
And again, the Pirates number 2, Kim Brody. Brody back to serve.
So Brody will serve 8-4. Pirates up by 4. And Brody's is going to fall, so sometimes got to be lucky. And that one kind of fell the right way because it looked like it was going to hit the top of the net and fall, but this kind of fell over the other side of the net. So
Where you just wish it over.
Wished it over, 9-4. So when we talked about, Angela, you said, you know, Columbus State needed to try to claw back in this, get some momentum. They haven't had that so far here in the fourth. It's been all Armstrong.
They haven't. It just seems like they're a little deflated on the other side, just not being really confident in themselves and having some mental errors right there. So
You could see it kind of turn there in that second set where it was close for a while, then Armstrong opened it up, and probably to get this upset on the road, Columbus may have needed to win that set because it really, since that midway point in the second, it's been pretty much all Armstrong. But that's why they are the number 22 team in the country and reigning, I believe, 3-time conference champions. 2011, 12, and 13 as Will Condon has it going on here with Armstrong Volleyball. Done a nice job with this program since arriving here. It's Coach Condon building this program into a regional and now a national recognized program. Hill tried to track that down, was unable, so the Cougars get a point, 9-5. Trying to kind of keep this tight and see what happens. They'll get the service here. Cougars will put it in play here on the serve, trailing by 4, 9-5, trailing 2-1. Safara. Her attack goes out of bounds, 9-6. Columbus State trying to get some momentum back on their side. This one will be set up by the Pirates and hit over to net by Permenter, but able to stay alive by Columbus State. Their attack is dug out by the Pirates, and that one falls in. So Columbus doing what they need to do here. Get it down to 9-7, so good response coming out of the break. Hill. That one to Safara. She's pretty automatic when you set her up like that.
Into the game, the Pirates, number 19, Katie Broderick. Broderick, back to serve.
Katie Broderick will serve, leading 10-7. Tipped over by Columbus, tipped back by Armstrong. There's the set, that one there. Really,
Just a little breakdown.
yeah, a little breakdown there, so point will go to the Pirates. A lot of players kind of not real sure what to do on that one and ended up ball going Pirates' way. So 11-7, Armstrong, Broderick to serve. Broderick's serve is attacked by the Cougars. That one dug out by Armstrong. Safara's shot blocked by Columbus State. Now tap back over, will be set up again for Safara. She's going to nail that one. You can see it happening before it happens. If they that kind of setup, she's going to do that every time. So we have a timeout on the floor. Columbus State leading 12-7. Armstrong leading 12-7. Armstrong opened up a lead. Columbus came back a little bit. Now Armstrong opening it back up. It's been kind of that. Columbus has been close a few times in this match other than the first set, but it seems like every time they've tried to get some kind of rally going, Armstrong has had an answer.
They've had some nice blocks and really good kills, especially Safara. She's been doing really well.
Yeah, she's had a nice game. I think Safara's had a nice game. We've seen some good play from Wiley at times. I think also Permenter being another player that's been an impact, but Pirates with a lot of talent, a lot of different players coming in and out of the lineup, and really that experience that they have is kind of showing tonight why they are the top team in the conference right now. Not over yet, but headed in the right direction if you're an Armstrong fan. So Broderick will continue to serve, up 12-7 here in the fourth. Pirates trying to close this out in 4 if they can. There's the set by Columbus. That's tipped off the hand of Sherman earlier. Tipped over by Columbus State, and the diving Broderick unable to get it. 12-8, so side out. Columbus will serve. So Kozic will serve for Columbus. Safara with the initial hit, and then now the kill. He's everywhere.
She's really lighting up that 5-6 seam back there and just working that libero.
Served by Sherman, set by Columbus. Tapped over. Set by Armstrong, gonna fall again, so Rachel Thompson, just nice, easy little touch.
We'll see if Columbus State can try to pull something together on this next point.
14-8, it's slipping away for the Cougars. Sherman serve will be set by Columbus. That one's going to be tipped off the hand of the Pirates and will be a point for the Cougars. So Columbus gets a much needed point there, 14-9. That one's going to float long, so 15-9 on the service error. Hard to get momentum when the service error for the Cougars. Safara will serve. That one tough, great serve. It's hard to hit by Columbus. This one will be served up again, and the kill by McGee. That spot on the floor has been really done. They've done well there from the left side for the Pirates. That time it was McGee. Safara serve again. 16-9 right now. Tipped over by Columbus. This will be set by the Pirates. Knocked over by Wiley. Columbus now will try to go for the attack. Kept alive again. Knocked back over by Hill. Good block, but out of bounds. As Thompson and McGee slid over, but that one blocked out of bounds. 16-10, Columbus hanging around, but needs some points. They get one, but they give up two. It just kind of goes back and forth. If you're Coach Condon, you'll take that trade out.
We'll see if they can just string together some points instead of making one small error.
Not going to happen there, though, is Wiley with the kill. 17-10 Armstrong here in the fourth, up 2-1. There's the set by Columbus. Sherman tracks that down. Hill will play it to Wiley again. That one blocked. Played over to McGee. McGee finds the space. You can kind of see her eyes light up as that ball came across to her. She knew exactly where she was going to go with it. 18-10. Serve by Hill. And out of bounds. Cougars get a point. Trailing by 7. 18-11. Columbus State will serve. Rogers will put the ball back into play. And Rogers' serve goes out of bounds. So 19-11. So Broderick will serve for Armstrong. Winning this set right now by 8 here in the fourth, up 2-1. Broderick's serve is played by Columbus. There's the set, there's the block, but out of bounds. So the Cougars will get a point. So attempt to block goes out of bounds, and Columbus gets a much needed point. Angeli? It's been a problem at points today for both teams, but Columbus a little bit more so. There's a dig by the Cougars. That one will be tried to set. That'll be played by Morgan Hill. Hill will set it up for McGee. McGee will tip it down the line and just out of bounds. So she kind of saw that line. She went for it. Out of bounds, though. 19-13. So 2 straight points for Columbus State. And here's the serve. That one will be set up by Hill. That one's going to be hit under the net by the Columbus Cougars. So Pirates extend the lead to 7, 20-13. So five points away from winning this Peach Belt Conference match. 5 points away from going 4-0 in the conference. Brody's serve will be tipped over by Columbus into the net. That's going to be a point for the Cougars. So side out. 2014. That serve going to be long, so the service errors continue. 21-14. Excuse me, 2014. I was correct, it was 21-14. Little play tipped over by Sherman. Knocked back by Brody. And the Pirates go 22-15. So Sherman will serve. Good serve by Sherman. Pirates 2 points away from closing this out. So we have match point 24-15 for Armstrong. There's the serve, and it's long. So we'll have to wait a little longer, but it would take a tremendous comeback by Columbus State to get back in this one, but you never know. Ball played over, that's going to be hit home, and that's it, folks. Rachel Thompson with authority to close out this match. Armstrong wins it 3-1 after trailing 1-0 against Columbus. And you got to say, you got to like the response from the Pirates tonight. They haven't trailed much this year. They haven't trailed much in Peach Belt play. I don't know if they trailed at all. And going down 1-0, they really responded to come back here and close this out strong.
Yeah, it showed real mental toughness on their part, just not getting down on themselves, just really rallying back and knowing that they're a good team and they can win just point by point. I think Columbus State, they did pretty well in the beginning, but like earlier, like we said, it just seemed like they were a little deflated as time went on. So it
was about the halfway point of the second set where it kind of unraveled for them, and you're not going to go on the road and give away as many service points as they did and beat the number 22 team in the country, but a good effort, which they got to be happy with that. Maybe it's something they can build on. So tonight's match goes to the the Pirates. I know I messed up at some point. 3-1, and they'll be back here tomorrow hosting Montevallo in Peach Belt action at 2 p.m. So for Angela Johnson, thanks for carrying me tonight. I appreciate all the insight. It was fun.
it was a good time.
I'm Eric Faulkner. We will close out tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. Chad Jackson should be back as the voice, or someone will be on the voice, but it won't be me because I'll be coaching. Our final score tonight, Armstrong 3, Columbus State 1.